Full Metal Alchemist question.
I'm shocked!
Yeah, I'm sure everybody was very well surprised when you redid the role for Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
They were surprised?
Yeah, obviously. My question is...
wait a minute, I'm sorry, we have to pause for a minute. Why were they surprised?
Because it's such a...
because you did it so crappy the first time. Why the hell would they ask you to do it again, for God's sake?
Oh, thank you very much.
No, really, I'm curious. Why? Is that a surprise?
No. I mean, obviously because Ed's such a fantastic character. Now, my question is...
That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I can't let you get away with that. I love you, but I'm really curious now. How many of you were really surprised when the same actors played the same characters, pretty much? Actors played the same characters.
No, that's not really what I meant.
Okay, I misunderstood you then.
Maybe it was wrong. No, my question is...
He's like, shut up, Vic. Let me just ask a question. Yes, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, ask me the question.
My question is...
But really, I want to go back to Were you surprised when I'm sorry. What's your name?
Robert.
Robert. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When playing the character again for this Brotherhood, for Brotherhood, what kind of... obviously, the word I'm looking for is, I think it's reprising a role, I think it is. When you had to do the character again, were there certain notes that you had to retake, or was there a method or procedure to...
Well, I'll tell you this, Robert. I was a little nervous, actually. Because the first Full Metal Alchemist was so freaking good, I was afraid that the next one would be bad. You know what I mean? I mean, we've all seen sequels to movies, right, that are really horrible. And you're like, oh, they should have never made that sequel. I mean, the first one was great, and then it fell apart. And we've all seen anime series that just kind of fall apart. You know, they started out really great, and then they just kind of, just turn into something dumb or not so exciting. And so when I heard there was going to be another Full Metal Alchemist, I had a lot of mixed feelings. Because at first, a part of me was like, this is awesome, I get to play Ed again. And I get to, get to go back to that character that I loved so much. And then I started thinking, oh no, what if it's not good? What if the story's lame? What if the music sucks? What if the animation's bad? What if there are any number of things that were really good the first time aren't as good? And so I was kind of worried. But then somebody told me from Funimation, gave me news that really, I breathed a sigh of relief. They told me that it was going to follow the manga. Now I will tell you guys something. The entire time I did Full Metal Alchemist, the first one, fans would come up to me and they would go, I love Full Metal Alchemist. Have you read the manga? And I would be like, no. And they would say, it's awesome. Great. So I always knew that the manga was really good. I knew that the original Full Metal did not follow the manga, but I was told by most every fan that ever talked to me about Full Metal that the manga was a really great story. So when I found out that Brotherhood was going to follow the manga, I thought, okay, well, that means chances are it's going to be a good story, right? It's going to be a pretty powerful story. And the music was great, and most people even like Brotherhood better than the original. But for me, I was a little nervous at first because of that, because I was afraid. You know, when you hit a home run, anybody play sports in here? Like in Little League or something, and you hit a home run or you score a goal, the next time you get the ball, what does everybody expect you to do? Hit another home run, score again. And Full Metal, in my mind, was a home run. And I was kind of afraid that it couldn't possibly live up to the original. But Brotherhood was absolutely wonderful. And we were very excited to do it. I will tell you a funny thing. When I went in for my first recording session of Brotherhood, Mike McFarland was doing the English dub directing, and he said, okay, we have a reference line, in other words, a recorded line from the original series, and we're going to play it, and then we want you to repeat it. because we want to see her if you sound different. Because, you know, your voice changes over years. So they played it, and I repeated it, and he was like, damn, you sound exactly the same. So I was like, thank God, right? I was just scared, I was afraid, you know, that maybe I wouldn't. But the only real trick with Brotherhood was, of course, as you know, that Aaron Dismuke, who played Al in the original series, was now 8 feet tall and sounded like, you know, the Hulk, and he couldn't play Al anymore. He just grew up. Nobody ever knew there was going to be more Full Metal. So they didn't cast a girl, which is what they normally do in Japanese, you know, in a lot of Japanese dubs, they'll cast a girl to play a young boy's role, and the voice is always the same. But nobody knew there would be more Full Metal, so they cast an actual little boy. And it was great. Aaron was amazing. And then he grew up. So, you know, so then, you know, it's okay, you're a Jedi, it's all right. So, you know, so it went from brother to brother. Ow, what the heck? Lay off the hormones, man. But so they really had a hard time finding somebody who could sound enough like Aaron so that people would accept that it was still Al, but this time it had to be, you know, a young lady. And they found Maxie, and Maxie did an amazing job as Alphonse. She was wonderful. I'll tell you, when we first started the show and it first got aired, Maxie called me one day, and she said, I'm getting the meanest emails. And I was like, why? What? And she said, I'm getting emails from people like saying, you know, you suck, and Aaron should be Alphonse, and you should kill yourself. And what's wrong with people? You know what I mean? Isn't that sad? I mean, here she's pouring her heart into it, and the only reason Aaron isn't doing it because he can't. He physically doesn't sound like that anymore. And you guys all saw Brotherhood. She did an amazing job. But right at the beginning, there were some people who just, you know, they just like to be mean. I don't know, you know, you've heard that adage, haters gonna hate, you know, they want to be against something, or they want to be mean about something, and they were mean to Maxie at the beginning of Brotherhood. And I really felt for her, but she did an amazing job. Thank you, Robert. Sorry for giving you a hard time about that. So were you really surprised? Question. Somebody
Do
else?
Broly again in the Dragon Ball.
What was the career-defining job that got you into voice acting in the first place?
What was the
career-defining job that got you into voice acting?
You know what, you guys? I have to confess something. I really stumbled into voice acting. I usually, and I will do it again right here, I hope I don't offend anybody, but I always give the credit to God for my career. And I'll tell you why. Because I didn't do anything. All my life I had been acting. Since I was a little boy, I've been in theater and some on-camera stuff and musical theater and stage plays, and I loved performing. I would sing in church, I would get involved in school productions, community theaters, anything I could do to act. And one day, about 15 years ago, I was working on a video production in Houston, Texas, and a guy that I was working with said to me, hey, you've got a lot of acting experience, don't you? And he said, and I said, yeah. And he said, you want to go and audition for this company in town. They're called ADV Films, and they buy these Japanese shows, animated shows, and they dub them into English, and they're looking for actors. And I was like, really? You mean like Speed Racer and stuff? Because I loved Speed Racer when I was a little boy. I didn't even know Speed Racer was anime, but I loved Speed Racer. And a lot of those anime series when I was a little kid. So I went and auditioned. And it was this tiny little company. They had bought a couple of licenses to some shows, and I auditioned, and I got cast as Vega in Street Fighter 2. And I did it, and I thought, well, that was a fun little weird thing to do. You know, it was a one-time thing. I didn't expect anything would ever come of it. And I went back to writing music professionally and film production work professionally. And a few weeks later, ADV called me back and they said, we've got another show. You want to come back and do a role? I'm like, okay. I went back and did another one. And then another one. And another. And another. And another. And the next thing you know, somebody said to me, hey, you want to go do an anime convention? I was like, what convention? I know Star Trek conventions. I mean, I went to Star Trek conventions dressed as good when I was a little boy, and I loved sci-fi Star Trek conventions. I didn't even know they had anime conventions. But I was like, you mean as a guest? Oh, okay. So I went. And then I went to another one. And then I met some people from Funimation in Dallas, 4 hours north. And at the time, Funimation was all DBZ, Dragon Ball Z. Woo! And the guys from Funimation said, hey, you want to come up and be in Dragon Ball Z? And I was like, okay. I didn't even know what Dragon Ball Z was. I'm like, okay. And I started going to Dallas. And after I did Dragon Ball Z, I did Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, some old schoolers there. Case Closed. Spiral. Kitty Grade. And then Funimation got the license for Full Metal Alchemist. And I didn't even hear of it. I had never heard of it. I'd done a show at ADV in Houston called Full Metal Panic. Anybody know that show? Yeah. Oh yeah, Kurt's baby. But I didn't know what Full Metal Alchemist was, and they asked me to audition for this character, this little kid, and I did. And anime kept growing, and more anime was on television. More and more people were learning about it. It was becoming more recognized. And I was doing stuff in Houston, I was doing stuff in Dallas, and then I met people from Los Angeles. And they said, do you want to come out here and play a role in such and such? And I'm like, okay. Are you seeing a pattern here? And then people in New York called me and said, hey, you want to come be in Pokemon? I'm like, okay. You understand why I have to give credit to God, right? Do you see it now? Because I didn't plan it. I didn't do it. Granted, I prepared, I practiced, I developed the skills necessary, but I never did anything to get into voice acting. I just wanted to be an actor. And I had the opportunity to try voice acting, and it's acting, it's just with different skills. You know what I mean? Like if you're a stage actor, you have certain tools that you use to communicate a character on stage, right? Anybody here ever been on a stage play? How many of you have ever been acting on a stage play? Okay, if you're an actor, you stand on this stage and you don't have to say a word, and if I put a look on my face, you're like, man, he's pissed off, right? I'm communicating with this. Or what if I use certain gestures or body language? I'm communicating the character to the way I move or the way I gesture. Right? I didn't say anything, but I'm communicating. Right? If I wear a certain costume, I'm communicating something about my character, right? It's not vocal, it's not verbal, but if I'm interacting with other people on stage, I mean, there are all kinds of ways that you communicate on stage as an actor, but in voice acting, you have none of that. I can sit there at the microphone. It doesn't know I'm angry. It's got to come through the voice. So voice acting is acting, but it's using a different set of tools than you would use as a stage actor or a screen actor. That's why a lot of times you'll see, and I know we've all seen animated shows, animated feature films with well-known actors voicing characters, right? And they're not so good. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Some of them are good, but some of them not so good. And the reason is because their skills lie in their visual, in their ability to communicate a character visually. And so when you strip all that away and they're just using their voices, it's not quite the same. Question?